Yeah, that's a screen share, but it doesn't play audio to the screen share in Geometry Dash. So some other apps it does, but just not Geometry Dash.
Yeah, hold on, let me just close and then
Yeah,
film myself.
that's a screen share, but it doesn't.
All right. Hello, everyone. It is Joshua Baker here, along with.
The
Pup, pups.
And Dylan Foxzilla.
And welcome to a new live stream. However, we're not going to be talking on surviving that or playing the game or anything like that for this stream. However, we are going to be discussing on a new title that we're going to be working on in the future. Um, Basically, as you guys heard from other streams that we discussed about this, then we actually plan to make a game called a Small Engine Mechanics Simulator game. Basically, it's a bit of an inspiration from Playway's games on their mechanic games like Car Mechanics Simulator and Tank Mechanics Simulator. Basically, however, in this game, it's basically you be able to repair different types of equipment like chainsaws, mowers, weed eaters, leaf blowers, snow blowers, different equipment like that. Um, so
Yeah,
it's
so basically just a repair shop thing.
basically.
And I mean, just like the other ones, it's still moddable.
Well, yeah, of course, it's going to be modibly. We also will try to, when we can afford it, this will be, of course, when we can be able to afford it and have the funds for Surviving the Dead, of course, and other projects, of course. We plan to try to implement real life branding for like as DLC for the game as well, like Husqvarna, Steel, Echo, Poland,
If it's
Ryobi, and things like
allowed,
that.
you just have to.
If
You have to
yeah, if we can be able to afford to pay the trademarks and pay the branding and things like that.
yeah, you just have to get the legal rights. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I might be a little quiet, and that's because my throat's kind of sore.
Yeah. But
You know.
we're going to also have some like our own branded type of smalls and equipment and things like that as well for the game before we start out adding DLC, of course.
Yep.
Uh,
If you're wondering where we are talking, it's complicated to explain. We're just in basically an offshoot of a team a server. That's a team, an offshoot of WOS's team. It's its own team essentially. And in order to join the voice chat, I'd have to give you a role and be prepared for notification spam from moderator only. That's all I can say. And I don't really want to do that to too many people because it's not. I'm only going to give if someone joins. I'm only going to give them access if I know them.
But yeah, this game will end up teaching you how to let's say if you're a skeleton mechanic yourself or beginning to become a skeleton mechanic, basically this game can be able to teach you on how to repair equipment and things like that. Basically, say if it comes to like rebuilding a carburetor, tuning a carburetor, rebuilding a complete engine and all that. It'll teach you stuff like that. We also plan to if the non VR version of it does well, we also plan to make a VR port for it as well. Just like how we're doing with Surviving the Dead and making a VR port for that if the first one does well.
Yeah. Open. Oh god. Messing with Open VR, it's going to be annoying.
Yeah, probably, but I mean, we could. I'm sure we're gonna figure it out and all that. Well, speaking of VR related stuff, Pods, would you like to announce to the viewers on the little project we got going on with that?
The one we're in right now?
Yeah, the thing, like the little thing that you're making was Visual Studios Code.
Oh yeah. I'm working on a game called And Watch Out for Flying Debris, or just Flying Debris for short, which is a VR. It's basically a VR Node.js project that is basically mostly PC VR, but I plan to, if I can figure out most of the libraries, port it to Oculus.
Yeah, and possibly in the future, if we're able to afford pups, I think this will also be during the time when, because I'm not sure the PS5 will have VR capabilities. Because well, they're making a PSVR 2, so I'm pretty sure it might.
Objection. Okay, never mind.
But
It will.
so I think it's also gonna get released to PlayStation 5 as well, like PlayStation 5 VR.
Yeah, but I have to set up some way to compile binaries so it'll actually run as a standalone.
Escape.
Yeah, what's up?
What did you say? Did you say that you don't think that the PS5 has VR capabilities?
I said I wasn't sure at first, but then again, I was like, then again, they're making a PlayStation VR 2, so.
No,
And
that's not
for the
the thing. Is
5.
When they were announcing the PlayStation 5, they showed like PSVR and like all the other accessories next to it. So if they showed PSVR, I'm guessing that was like VR ready.
Well, I explained.
It probably is. Well, that's what it is then. I looked into it. It says it's PSVR. I think backwards compatible with Gen 1, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot by saying that. So I don't think it'll be wise to plug the Gen 1 in unless you know for sure it's compatible.
I'm pretty damn sure it's compatible. That's what's out right now.
Yeah, then try it, I guess. It's going to be way down the road before I am able to compile it for other platforms. I still have to figure out how to work with OpenVR.js.
Yeah.
And it's not even the normal OpenVR, it's the Electron port. Because code on PC did not want to cooperate with OpenVR. Wouldn't even install, so I had to actually compile it and compile the Electron version, which, if you know my history with Electron, it's not good. But hey, Discord was coded in Electron, so couldn't be that bad. And I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot by saying that. Oh, this is going to suck. It's going to be fun, but it's going to suck.
But yeah, we are already going to go ahead and also plan on how we're going to make the going back to the subject for Responsive Mechanics Simulator. We are also during this stream going to plan how we're going to have the shop look like and things like that, and yeah. Also there will also be a thing to where there will be like a junkyard where you can go and buy old equipment from that's like broken down and things like that, and you can take it into the shop and try to fix it. We also are going to include a sandbox mode where we get like unlimited cash and things like that, so you don't worry about spending a whole lot of money on buying parts and all that in that mode. So
Husky?
yeah.
So I did the smart thing at one point, and when I had to restart dev at one point of the Find Debris game,
Mhm.
I managed to salvage the package.json file.
That's good.
So I saved the package list, an old version of the package list, and I was able to use that to rescue what packages I had and restore most of them with some changes.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, I have a weird idea.
Yeah, what is it?
What if we wrote a version of the small engine mechanic simulator in the JS engine that I'm working on?
That can actually work.
I'm trying to make like a small game engine out of the JS thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a small basic game engine with texture packing and stuff. And I'm using just libraries from all over the place, so it's VR ready and everything. The engine is VR ready and everything.
Yeah. Now, originally we were going to use the Stride engine to make the game. However, let's just say Stride is going to take some more learning with Pups, so that Pups knows how to code. Now, it does have the same language that Unity uses, which the one of the game engines we do use, like say when we're making Surviving the Dead and other projects. And however,
But Stride uses very, very unusual calls.
yeah.
And calls are everything in coding. Calls can be the save of your game or the downfall of your game. What?
I just got 85% on Future Fun 2 out of nowhere. I'm
Nice.
literally first attempt. I got from 69 to 85.
69.
I went from
69.
Holy shit, I did not expect for that jump to be that huge. Future Fun 2 is going to be my next demon, and it's going to be an insane demon.
Hey. So
I'm shaking. I need to back up. This is big. I need to back up. I can't use this.
Also something else I want to show off here. So I actually finally fixed the Twitch follow stream alert thing. Now it not only does this, it has already shown like audio. However, it does not show like an actual like GIF or anything like that. So I ended up fixing it. I had to go to the Streamlabs official website to do it, but I finally got it to work, and this is what it looks like.
Well, granted, I'm not looking because I'm in a call, and if I tab out, it screws up the call.
We'll be able to see when it gets archived.
If it does.
It feels so good getting a new vest on that. It's been so long.
Alright. So, yeah, Find Debris has a small staff team.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, every one of the staff members has a nickname. That's how you can identify them.
Mm-hmm.
I have client server scripter. Dylan has model or codev. Husky has Resident Game Mod, and Blixie has Resident Helping Hand.
Yeah. Now, of course, now Small Super Cake Simulator will, of course, still be worked on with Wolf Left Studios, but however, it's gonna fall in like the main line for Husky 350 game studios as like one of their game lineups, just like with Surviving the Dead. So, however, because
This
it's
is
going with
literally my
Wolf Left
hand right now.
Studios, it's gonna
I'm not
be
doing
helping
it.
out with that. So,
What was it, Blixie?
Look at my camera. This is literally my hand right now. I'm not doing this. That's how big that death was. I don't care that I died at 85. The fact that I got past 69, that's a huge jump. Or jump. That's a huge jump.
69.
I died. Oh, Dylan, for the record, I died at 69% months ago. Like in 2021.
Then why do you still have new best 69 as your title?
That's just my thing. I always die at 69%, no matter what. Not just for Future Funk 2.
Because it was funny number.
Well,
Exactly.
That's not the only
Yes!
funny number. That's not the only.
meme was born when I died at. The meme was born when I died at 69% on Future Funk 1, which I surprisingly did after Future Funk 2. I
It
died
means
at
you also don't have enough money for chicken nugget.
I died at 69% on the easier one months after the harder one. So that's fun.
There I go again with the meme references.
But yeah, need to take a rest. I'll be back. Also, I think dinner's ready, which my dad probably slow cooked the best brisket ever on like mankind. So I'll be back.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Speaking of dinner from down here, we pretty much had barbecued hamburgers and the hot dogs. Had like actually done.
All
made
I
on
had
the
was just
barbecue grill.
microwave hot dogs.
I have never had barbecue hamburgers, and I am interested in trying that.
They are delicious. But yeah,
I like
anyways,
barbecued stuff, but we have a barbecue pit out back,
yeah.
but it hasn't been used probably since we moved in, so probably very unsafe.
Yeah, you're gonna know how to get that thing cleaned out and all that before you begin using it again.
Yeah, I'd imagine. It's on our back deck, so... So what I'm going to say is... I'm working on an engine. I'm thinking about calling it the Chainsaw Engine.
Oh, that would actually be pretty sweet. I would like that.
Are the girls in here?
Yeah, they are.
Both of them?
Yeah, all three of them.
Alright, so the doggos are in your room. Why did...
Luna's right
Okay,
there.
so...
I was on Lulu. See?
Is that Lulu?
Yeah, that's Lulu.
Okay. As long as everybody's in here.
Everything's fine.
I thought you were going to take care of that wagon.
I thought we were gonna do that tomorrow. I'll go take care of it. Hang on. Be right back, guys.
Take care of what? I'm gonna have to replay the stream to see what was just said. His mic, his stream mic probably picked that up better than what was just said. So, Dylan?
What?
My idea is I'm probably going to use the base of flying debris for the chainsaw engine, like the surrounding framework of the code for it. Anything that is not game code.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I get ping that. Alright, so anyways, just going back on the topic. What were we talking about before my mother came in?
I don't remember.
Hang on, let me reverse back on the stream. Anyways, just going back on the topic. I thought we were gonna do that. That would actually be pretty sweet. I would like.
Yeah, I'd imagine. It's on our back deck, so. So what I'm gonna say is
I'll be right back.
I'm working on an engine.
Blue. See?
Dylan's probably having issues with this computer. So the doggos are in your room. Thinking about calling it the chainsaw engine.
Oh, that was... Okay, okay, so we were basically, before my mother came in, we were talking about the thing on calling the game engine the chainsaw engine, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, basically, we're pretty much, I guess you could say I don't think we're definitely not the first to do that, but I think, well, we're pretty much gonna have our own custom game engine and things like that for our games.
Mm-hmm.
There's been multiple game developers, like especially ones that are discontinued, like for example, Telltale did it for the Walking Dead series, known as the Telltale engine, or something like that. So.
There's the Telltale engine, yeah. It was a Telltale engine, I believe. Yeah.
Of course, Belfast, known as the Sword engine, was it made a bunch of popular games like the Half-Life series, Team Fortress series, Counter-Strike series, Left 4 Dead, Gmod, things like that. So.
Yeah. And they released it for open source too, so you can just goof around with it.
Yeah, you can.
The chainsaw engine is just going to be for us to use for a bit.
Yeah.
Chainsaw engine is just ours. It's just our engine that we just play with, and
yeah. And also, I think it'd be great certain that few of the games that we work on has chainsaws in it. So why the heck not?
Yeah, we get our own particle. I'm gonna see if I can. If I get a little better at Node, I can take a crack at making my own libraries.
Yeah, it's just also as you guys know, since I'm the owner and operator of Husky 350 Game Series, and basically I run chainsaws on the side and things like that, which is something else I do for the channel. So.
Yeah, I run Wolf Live Studios, and I just do various works in progresses of games on the side, and other coding projects that stuff happens to them, but it happens. Also, Flying Debris had something happen to it a few days ago.
Yeah.
The Visual Studio 2019 issue.
Oh boy, let's get into that topic, shall we?
Yeah. Visual Studio 2019 critical errored and
This is
took
a
the
bunch
and
of
took one
bull
iteration
crap.
and took a iteration of the project with it. I was unable to. I tried to save it, tried to save as much of it as I could, but NPM decided it was going to have a field day with me. NPM is Node Package Manager.
Mm-hmm.
It decided it's going to have a field day with me. Say my C++ libraries were invalid. Down goes NPM, and then Visual Studio 2019 was like, everything about your installation's invalid. I'm going to critical error. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm like, I installed it through the installer. Go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I just force exited it and just tossed it aside. I still have it on my PC. I don't really have a choice to use it on my laptop, but my desktop, I do have an option and I could uninstall it. But to be fair, I have too many things tied to those versions. So I really can't do much. So I migrated Flying Debris to code. As much as I could salvage, I dragged it onto code. Which was not much. I had to, for the most part, start over.
Yeah.
Which I
Pretty
think at this
much.
point was the best thing I could have done. Considering VS 2019 had a limited amount of projects you could make in terms of Node and JavaScript, and TypeScript for that matter, which is probably an offshoot of JavaScript if I'm not mistaken. And what happened? Basically, probably partially because VS 2019 is discontinued.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think it should stay that way.
Yeah. Lastly enough, it was the year before the whole world went to crap.
Yeah.
That said the actual thing, but you guys know the other thing I'm talking about. I just can't see the actual thing on stream. Otherwise, YouTube will have a fit about it, take the stream down, and end up labeling as a thing that where I can't make money off the stream, and that's that. And I don't need that right now. 'Cause I'm working on trying to get the watch hours up to where I can get monetized and all that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically, VS 2019 pissed me off, and I moved to the more basic version of it, which was Visual Studio Code,
Mhm.
which is something I'm a little better at. So, I mean, Unity's compatible with Code,
Mhm.
so that's good with that. So that's not a problem. I could just
Yeah.
migrate everything to Code
Yeah,
if I
pretty
have
much.
to.
You could.
If I have to, I'll migrate everything to Code instead of 2019,
Mhm.
and just eventually scrap all community versions of Visual Studio and just move it all to Code
Yeah.
until that gets deprecated, and then what?
Now you guys are probably wondering when are we going to begin working on Small Mechanic Simulator. I think our best bet is when we start working on that. I think it'll be either before or after Wrath of Flamelight. I think, because you see, Survivor the Wrath of Flamelight will be taking place in the United Kingdom, so basically London, England. Um, Basically, because I'm gonna leave up a bit of a spoiler alert for it. Basically, you know, Flamelight he failed to take over my state. He failed to take over the United States and Flamelight, the entire United States, all 50 U.S. territories, and Flamelight Strikes Back. He failed to do it in time travel for Time Twisted. So he's like, you know what? After taking a break for Joshua Team Racing and all of that, to focus on being a zombie enemy that he didn't even create himself, he's thought, okay, you know what? We need to think of something better. Let's take over the United Kingdom because there's something really else we could do. So, sure that the U.S. and all that is pretty much out of the question at that point. Now, there has been one zombie game that took place in the United Kingdom, which is basically called Zombie for PS4 and Xbox One, but it's called Zombie U for the Wii U. I'm not sure if it's on PC though, but I do know it's on console. I'll have to look more on that one. I haven't really played that one, so I don't know what. I know that's like the only so far I want to know the only zombie game that took place in the United Kingdom. So,
Yeah. Joshua Team Racing is going to be a fun game to code.
Oh yeah.
It's going to probably be written in the Chainsaw engine, and oh fucking boy.
Yeah.
Get some knowledge of Node JavaScript, because you're going to have a fun ride.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have some documentation on Wolf Lab Studio's website about the Chainsaw engine stuff, but it's a complicated enough engine to learn. And, where confusing engines lurk.
I don't really know at that point, but
I don't know how Soda resorts to me farting.
oh no.
Usually it's out the other end.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what happens with the Chainsaw engine is it's written in Node, and most of the API scripting's in Node. So, yeah.
Let's see what else are we talk on? Okay. So I think probably I'm not sure how we're gonna make the now. Let's go ahead and discuss on how we're gonna make the shop look like in Small Engine Mechanics Simulator. So basically, I've now, as you probably know me, I've been to different types of Small Engine Mechanics Hub. Like for example, one of them I will say I called David Chainsaw Lawnmower Repairs. I won't say the actual location where there's that. Yes, they are in my state. However, we're not going to especially do a complete copy paste on the shop that already exists in real life. Compared to how Surviving the Dead is going to somewhat look. But however, we're gonna make our own custom-made shop. Basically, we're gonna make it kind of similar like how I'm gonna have my my new shop for when I move into get my mansion built and things like that. Basically, so like
I have a
ahead.
logical idea of how. Okay. So, I've been learning how to model,
Oh no.
and I think I've been getting better at it. Do you want me to do some of the slight designs for some of the shops?
Yeah, that can work.
Yeah, I can try. It's just I've been mostly doing streets and stuff and figuring out how to subdivide and then subdivide again and do folding. But I think I've been getting a little better at Blender and learning how to work with it. So It's
now
a learning process, but by learning.
yeah, and then now we'll have two people on working on Blender for our game projects and all that.
Yeah, Dylan's working with character modeling because that's what he's good at.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be doing pretty much everything
yes,
else.
yeah. So we got a dev on working with in character models, and we now got one working on like terrains and things like that.
Terrains and stuff, and client scripting, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically the all-around client scripting and building modeler, I guess.
Yeah. Now
I can try to Survive the Dead as well. It's just
Oh yeah.
not easy to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially because the challenge that we're trying to make this take place in a real life locations and things like that, like a real life state. So
I'm
even
gonna
though
have to pull up OpenStreetMap to see that.
yeah. Now
Google Maps.
even though there's been multiple games out there that took place that actually took place in real life locations and things like that. But you have to realize we're indie game devs and we're starting out with stuff like this, so
I started out with an MMO, but at the same time, that kind of got put in the back burner. And put in the back burner for a while because I was going to school when I was writing. I was going to like middle school when I was writing that MMO. So I started out in game dev very, very early.
Yeah.
Not having a clue in the world what I was doing. Until, well, I started game modding and I was like, you know what? This shit is easy. The second you learn the calls, second you learn how to make calls in a game, like each call and what they do, boom! It's easy as shit.
Pretty much.
So yeah, that's why I stuck with Unity for so long, is because it was relatively easy to get a handle on. I've modified a game written in C#, and that's how I was like, wait, C# is not hard at all. Because once you know what commands do what, because I made a mistake in the code and it did something very unintentional. I made a mistake in the code, compiled it. It compiled successfully in Visual Studio. I think it was I want to say 2015. I used VS 2015 back then. Don't judge. And then I compiled it. I ran it in the game, and it did something I didn't want it to do, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then I looked at a table of what each call does, and I was like, oh. And that's how I learned. Once you learn the calls in a piece of code, a coding language, it's pretty much down to just typing the code. Because that's it. Once you know what you have to write, and once you know how to write it, the software does the rest. You know what I mean, Husky? Software does the rest. That's why it's easy for VS. That's why I used VS for so long. It's because it had the Eventually, they introduced IntelliSense, which is basically their code corrector, and that proved useful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know me, I make mistakes in code, and that helped me fix my errors. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Surviving the Dead hasn't. Well, it's errored out a few times, but it hasn't errored out much.
Yeah.
And Small Engine Mechanics Simulator, however it is called, is actually going to be as stable as I can try to make it. Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started out with game mods. I eventually started going back to my old MMOs. Started working on those, and I started like trying to make builds of them, and calls were different from the game mod to the MMO, which I learned quickly and tried to correct. So don't think engines and different don't think different engines are cross compatible with different calls, because they're not.
Mm-hmm.
C# is fun. Node is also fun. I'm going to include some voice chatting stuff in Flying Debris, but if you want multiplayer and you want to make some of the games in the Chainsaw Engine voice chat compatible, I'll also include
Mm-hmm.
some voice chat libraries in those too.
Alright.
Because, VR headsets have microphones in them.
Oh, yeah.
You have them. Mine has one.
Mm-hmm.
Yours has one. Lexi's has one. And I'm pretty sure Valve Index has one.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it? The VR headset. It needs one.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Also, another thing. This is kind of off topic, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this before I end up ending up the stream. Basically, from last year to this day last year, actually, it's the 16th today, and today makes 1 year since I got my gaming PC. My trace for gaming PC. Now, when I first got it, of course, it had a GT 730 graphics card in it. However, uh, during the well, it was I actually upgraded this year, but the thing was bought last year. Thanks to Pups here. If you follow me on Facebook, you should already know about this. And of course, in multiple of my live streams and things like that, we put in a GTX MSI GTX 1060 graphics card in it. So, which was pretty much as of right now the only thing that this computer's been upgraded with. However, I'm still gonna upgrade the RAM and put an external hard drive, like a 1 to 2 terabyte external hard drive on it, so I have enough space for it. Because when I got it stock, it did not have a lot of space on the hard drive. It was at basically around 200 something gigabytes on it when I got it.
What I suggest, Husky, look for another drive bay in the computer. You'll thank me for that suggestion later.
Well, I did put an extra hard drive in it, but I gave it about on welcome back, Blixie and Dylan.
You
but
put another hard drive in it?
Yeah, but you gave me around a little extra space, around 400 gigs of space for it. But I still want to get a little extra space for when I get the external hard drive.
Is there another drive bay besides that?
Not really, no.
Alright.
Should I log?
Should I log? Should I
Let's see.
Should I log back into Discord with my Oculus?
Maybe.
I mean,
It would be a
Or
fun.
so anyways,
I'm gonna play Beat Saber.
alright, so anyways, that's pretty much what we're gonna that's pretty much where we're gonna leave off on the stream. However, next time we do go live, it'll be sometime in May, because that's when I'll be getting a new headphones and all that, so I don't have to be using these earbuds, because they can be a pain in the rear end sometimes and all that. So.